Hi everyone! I am so excited to be participating in the Mixtape Readathon at the beginning of August. I have reached a unique point in my reading journey. I have never been in this place before, but basically, I've been reading so fast that I am running out of books. So I am actually going to create a TBR, which I rarely do because I'm such a mood reader, and TBRs usually like, I don't know, they're hit or miss for me. But I was like, you know what? I've been needing books ahead of what I'm reading because I'm getting through these books so fast. So I have decided to create a TBR for this cute readathon called the Mixtape Readathon. So I will link the creators in the description. If you also check out my Instagram, I will be participating on Instagram. I already posted the TBR, but I'm gonna get into more depth in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. The first prompt is Here Comes the Sun. And Here Comes the Sun prompt is read a book with nature on the cover. So for this, I'm going to read this lovely graphic novel called Taproot, a story about a gardener and a ghost by Keezy Young. I'm very excited about this. I've been on the holds list at my library for months waiting for this book, and someone finally turned it in yesterday. And so I'm very excited to read this in August. It is a adult graphic novel, and it seems like it's got like some, some romance and maybe some found family, which, just warms my heart. I think it's also queer question mark. I'm not totally sure, but I'm very excited to dive into this one. I'm also excited to have a graphic novel on the TBR because they're usually pretty quick. And sometimes with TBRs, what really gets me sometimes is I'll hit like a book that's reads a lot slower, and that can really mess things up. But with a graphic novel, this should be pretty quick to get through. So if I encounter issues with the other books, at least I will have this one under my belt. The next prompt is Blame It on the Weatherman, and the description for that one is to read an unseasonal read. I was less excited about this one because summer is personally one of my favorite seasons. I know that seems to be a hot take right now. Lots of people are complaining about it, and I get it. It's hot. Existing outside is painful, but I don't know. There's just something about it, like being outside and like the sun warming my skin. Whew, it warms my soul. Anyway, so for this one, I am not sure if it quite fits the prompt. I'm reading A History of Wild Places by Shia Arnshaw. Hang on, I need to pull up the Goodreads because I was in my head yesterday when I was putting this together, it made sense, and I've completely forgotten why I chose it for this prompt. So here's part of the description. Hauntingly beautiful, hypnotic, and bewitching. I'm reading from my monitor behind, which is why my eyes are going back and forth. And bewitching, A History of Wild Places is a story about fairy tales, our fear of the dark, and losing yourself within the wilderness of your mind. So that's why I think it's because it has more dark, creepy fairy tale vibes, which is something I personally love. And I've read a couple of like fairy tale adjacent stories recently. I think one of them was Disfigured, which was about disability in fairy tales, and the other one was the second in Alex Harrow's duology. I think it's A Spindle Splintered is the first one. The second one is A Mirror Mended, and I just finished Mirror Mended. So I was like, I love this. I want to keep this fairy tale train going. And this book isn't like set in winter or anything, but I just feel like the dark vibes are just contrasting with like bright sun, summer lovin', like relaxed vibes. So that is why I chose it for this prompt, because it both seems like something I would enjoy, but it also has a different vibe from the summer. And that's what I'm going with the unseasonal. I'm just going to go with vibes as the mood reader I am. The next prompt is Cake by the Ocean, which is read a book featuring food or that is spicy. So I'm going to go with the spicy aspect of this prompt, and I'm going to read Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. And I have a friend who recommended this book to me months ago, and I have just had it, just been sitting here with it. And I think this is finally the time that I need to sit down and get through it because it promises to be great. And I just haven't like gotten to it. I think it's because I've been reading a lot of ebooks recently, because I'm like out and about, and so I'll forget the physical book. And so if it's a physical book, it's like I'm less likely to pick it up. But I'd really like to read this because it's queer, it's a romance, it just promises to be like a nice change of pace from especially the book that I previously mentioned, which promises to be like dark and creepy. This promises to be, you know, a change of pace. So I feel like this will be a great read. Definitely qualifies in the spicy category from what I hear about it. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, the next prompt is We're Going to Ibiza, which is a book set in a different country. So this book has been on my TBR since 2018. And the reason it's been on there this long is because I bought this book when I was in Portugal because the author Jose Saramago, he like is an incredibly famous Portuguese author, and I went to a bookstore there and I picked this up and I started reading it, and then I think I like lost my copy or something. I don't know. Something happened and I did not get the chance to finish it. And I was racking my mind for this prompt because I was like, oh, I really don't have any books I want to read that are set in other countries. And then I was like, wait, I need to finish this book. And I mean, it was really interesting from what I remember. Basically, there is an election that's happening, but everyone votes with like blank ballots. Like they go to vote, but they don't actually write anything on the ballots. And it's supposed to be like a commentary on like authoritarianism and stuff. And I need to like research more of the historical context of Portugal at the time because I know a lot of it is like tapping into that. But this author is incredibly famous. I think this book won awards, like, and I am hoping that the translation is going to do it justice. I remember that being an issue I had with it originally. The translation, like, I mean, this is an issue with all translated works, I think, but for some reason it was more pronounced in the edition I was reading. So hopefully the one that I get from my library is going to be better. It just, you could tell it was a translation, like the phrasing was awkward. So I feel like some of the ideas were lost because of the like the clunky wording. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm anticipating it's gonna be a bit of a mixed bag, but we'll see. All right, the final prompt is mixtape, which is read a book inspired by your favorite summer bop or use this as a free space. So this is also going to be like a little bit of an unconventional choice, but I chose Ava Evergarden, Semi-Magical Witch by Julie Abe. And the reason I chose this one is because my go-to summer bop is lo-fi, which I know sounds weird, but it is. It is my summer bop right now. And so it's from Lo-Fi Records, and it's Osaki. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And it literally, the cover reminded me so much of the cover of this book, which is why I picked it. So yeah, I know it's like, this is not really like as conventional of a choice, but again, I'm a big mood reader, and so I kind of just looked up books that I already like wanted to read and saw if I could fit them in the prompts because this readathon looks really cute, especially the self-care prompts, which I'll get into shortly. I'm also really excited to read this book because I've been trying to read more juvenile YA because I want to be a youth librarian, so it's important to be like up on the books that are coming out. And it looks really cute. I love like books about like, I don't know, magic. It just looks great. All right, here we go. So the first self-care prompt is summertime, which is read in a sunny spot and capture your setup, which I'm very excited about because I'm getting back into my book stuff. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to find a cute setup that I can share with y'all. So this is like the third time I've mentioned it, but link in the description if you're interested. Then there's the seaside, which is take some self-care time, which is great. It is always important to do that, and it is great to have some like outward incentive to push me to do that. So I'm looking forward to taking some time for myself. Then there's Summer of 69, which is share a summer throwback picture, memory, or your ideal dream summertime. So I have tons of options for that. So hopefully I'll be able to find a cute one that I can share. And then finally, summer nights. Watch your favorite film set in summer or a warm place. So I'm not sure which movie I would like to watch in this category yet. I'm also a mood watcher, I guess, when it comes to that. So over the course of the readathon, I might see what other people are watching. I think there might be a group movie showing at some point. I'm not sure, but I'm looking forward to seeing what other people do. So with that, I think that is my summer mixtape-a-thon TBR. I am so excited to participate in this readathon, and with that, have a wonderful day. Bye, all.